Welcome back. How's the learning going on? How's the practice going on? Fantastic. Good. Good to know that. What is changing? You know what is changing? What do you think is changing? Think about it. Type in the chat box. What is changing over these last few sessions? Every day is new day by practicing. I am changing. Yes, exactly, Dr. Abraham. You are changing. The learning is there. The learning is there for you to acquire, to practice. But as you acquire, as you practice that, as you apply that, it is you. It's a new day. Don't meet the old person. That's a very interesting saying from one of the founders of Gestalt. So be aware that the learnings which are happening at two levels. One is consciously you are learning a lot of tools and techniques, and the other level is at an unconscious level. You are anyway absorbing, assimilating, and growing as a new person every day. While doing assignment, a lot of introspection is happening. Super, good, good. The assignment is meant to do that. Good. All right. So yesterday you saw a lot of new things in terms of submodalities and negotiation and VK dissociation. Keep practicing. In fact, in your assignment, there are questions on submodality mapping across. And anchoring is also there in your assignment itself. So apply it in your real life and then answer accordingly in the assignment. Today, I will be sharing in the group where and how you have to submit the assignment. Okay, so that will be there. You have by when is already told to you by 1st of March. You have to submit it by email, and partial submission will not be accepted. So make sure you complete all the 21 questions and then only submit it. And the email address will be shared with you in the WhatsApp group today. How long the recordings will be? The recordings will be till the deadline of your assignment. Okay, we'll talk more about that towards the end today. Okay, so all set for new learnings. Yes? Great. So we're going to start with a very interesting topic. And for this, I would request you all to keep the videos on. Please switch on your videos. Great, thank you. Okay. Still waiting for more people to switch on the videos. I know it's a bit morning. Maybe you're still settling down. Okay, please switch on the video. Okay, Dr. Manjari. Whoever is able to switch on, please switch on the video. Okay. All right, now just sit up straight, comfortably. Okay. Breathe, relax. Okay. All right. Now, I want you to think of a moment yesterday. Okay, not too far, just yesterday. Okay. Ideally, you can think of yesterday at this particular time, what were you doing? Maybe you were learning NLP, you were in this class. So exactly kind of 24 hours back. Let's go there. Okay, we all have a common moment. 24 hours back, you were all in this class. You were learning something new in NLP with Pawan. So as you think about that moment in your mind, where is that moment located? Imagine if your mind was a vast expanse of universe. I want you to point to that moment. Use your finger and point to that moment. Okay. Keep your finger pointed. Everyone do that. Okay. Point to a moment which was exactly 24 hours ago. Imagine your mind is a vast expanse of universe, infinite expanse. It could be all over, anywhere. And point in that direction of that moment which comes to you, what you were doing at 7 a.m. yesterday. Okay. And keep your finger pointed and open your eyes and look on the screen. Keep your finger there and look at other people whose videos are on. Where are the fingers? Dekho. Some are like, near the head, some are far off, some are here, there. It's all different, right? And what I'm asking you is the same moment, 7 a.m. yesterday. Everyone has a different representation of time. Okay, come back. Again, close your eyes if you need to. Okay. And think of a moment last weekend, maybe last Sunday, either the NLP class or anything that you remember doing last Sunday. Last Sunday was 19th of Feb. As you notice what you were doing, point out in that direction. Where is that moment? It could be anywhere. सब ऊपर नीचे आ रहा तेरा सब जगह आएगा. Okay. All right. Good. Now by now you know कि सबका अलग अलग जगह पे होने वाला है. So it's okay, you don't need to open your eyes to check. But let's become aware of where our points of time are. Okay. Now let's go back to a moment 1 month ago. End of January, 26th January. Let's take Republic Day. What were you doing then? On Republic Day, 26th January 2023, whatever you were doing, notice that and point out where is that moment. Point to that moment. Okay. All right, now let's go back a bit further. New Year Day, New Year's Eve, 31st December 2022. Where were you? What were you doing? And as you think of that moment, point to that. Okay. Right, let's go back further. 1 year ago, 2022, around this time, February or any time in the first quarter, Jan 22 to March 22 के बीच में, pick up any particular point where you can think what you were doing at that time. Maybe, we were not sure third wave, fourth wave, lockdown will happen again or not, what is happening. Think about a moment around a year ago, any rough moment, approximately during that time, and point in that direction. Where is that? Okay, let's now rewind further. 2020, around this time, or around the time when the lockdown was announced, the first 21-day lockdown was announced. What happened? Where were you? What you felt about it? Point out in that direction. Okay, right. Let's go further back. Around 5 years ago, 2018. Take any time, 2017, 18. Any moment that you can recall around that time. Where is that? Okay, you can go back further. Let's say a time in your childhood or teenage years. Whatever you recall about old times. Where is that? Okay. All right, good. Now, what I want you to do is remember these dots that you have pointed out to. Okay. And imagine joining these dots right from childhood to around 5 years ago to 2020 till coming to 2022 last year till New Year's Eve. From there, Republic Day, the last weekend till yesterday. Point. Imagine if you can join the dots and create a line. What would be the shape of the line? Just with your fingers, just join the dots and connect. It could be a line, it could be a zigzag, it could be an arc, whatever it is. Just notice कहाँ से आगे से पीछे से ऊपर से नीचे से जहां से भी आ रहा है. Just point it and connect it. Okay, now keep this segment in mind. This is actually your past timeline ka segment. Okay. Now come back, open your eyes. That was your past timeline. Now what I want you to do is think about tomorrow. Tomorrow, Monday morning, India time. What would you be doing at this time? How would you be starting your day? And as you think of that, point towards that. Okay. Now let's take next weekend. Next Sunday morning, NLP class will not be there. What would you be doing? Think about that. You would have already submitted your assignment. As you think about next Sunday morning, where is that? Point to that. Okay. Okay. Now, let's say 1 month from now. Point to that. Okay. Let's go further ahead and talk about Diwali time 2023. Point towards that. Where is that? Okay. 2024 beginning. Where is that? Let's go further ahead. 5 years from now. Favorite interview question. Where do you see yourself 5 years from now? Point to that. That would be 2028. Hey, last weekend when we did well-formed outcomes, you had thought about a time bound to your goal. You had put a time limit to your goal, right? You recall that goal that you had? And what was that time? What when would you achieve your goal? You can take up any particular goal. By when would you achieve that goal? As you see yourself achieving that goal down the line in the future, point to that time. Hey, good. All right, now let's connect these dots. Connect them in chronological order, starting from tomorrow to next weekend, 1st April. And wherever your well-formed outcome goal is coming on the timeline, put that 1 year from now, 5 years from now. So if your well-formed outcome goal is coming after 1 year, then that will be after that. So depending on what the connect the dots in order of chronology, the date-wise order. Okay, and this as you connect, this becomes your future segment of the timeline. Okay, now open your eyes, come back. Now, one last point of time to connect to is your now. As you think about the now, where is that? Point to that. Now, point to now. As you think about now, right now, 7:16 a.m. India time on 26th February 2023, where is that? Point to that. Okay. All right. Now connect the dots in such a way that connect the past timeline to your now, and then from that to the future timeline. So this what you just connected is called as your timeline. It is your submodality of timeline. You saw yesterday that we have submodality of everything. Just like that, we have submodality of what is there in representation of time. Your today, your yesterday, your tomorrow, or any given point of time in the past or the future, we all have certain submodalities attached to that. Now the point is that as you connected this, become aware of what you connected, the entire segment of the timeline, from childhood till 5 years from now. And notice that line which got formed, or arc, or zigzag, or whatever curve, whatever got formed, whatever shape and size it is. No judgment about that. Only thing to observe is that as you connect all of this, does this line anywhere pass within you, or is it entirely outside you? Think about it. Okay. Is it anywhere cutting within you, or is it entirely outside you? Which means even the present could be outside for some people and everything is outside. And for some people, maybe the present or some moment within is cutting within you and then moving out. So type in the chat box, is it within you or is it outside you? Okay, outside. There'll be two different types of answers. No? So it could be within, okay, within or outside, okay. Okay. All right, interesting. Inside as well as outside, that is okay. See, the entire thing may not be inside, but is it anywhere cutting via you? It could be everything is outside, but the present could be like, why? So if you have to connect it, maybe it connects within your mind or within your body and it's cutting through you. Or is it entirely outside? So there'll be two types of answers. And that broadly defines two types of personalities. In NLP, we call them in time and through time. Except now all others are outside. Yeah, so that's fine. So that means that somewhere for you to connect the dots, the now is going to pass within you. And for someone, even that, for some people, even that now could be outside. And that's also exactly, it's perfectly fine. So let me explain what these two types of differences mean. So that's your timeline submodality. For some people, the timeline would be entirely out. Where the past, the future, and the now is out. Now here I'm showing it as a straight line, but it could be anywhere zigzag, but everything is out. Even the now is outside. And for some people, it could be passing, cutting within you, which is the now is somewhere inside you. These two types of personalities are called as through time and in time. Now, what does that mean? What do we do with this information? It's about realizing that how your submodalities of the timeline is, that depicts how your approach towards the time will be, towards future as towards past and future and present. Now let me explain this. A person whose timeline is entirely outside, for them it is easy to see even the now in a kind of a detached way. They are able to see the past and the future and everything outside. Now that means that they might be able to plan in a better way. So when it comes to planning, organizing, things are like more, if I want to plan the future, if I want to plan my actions towards the goals, it will be easier for me because now it's all out. For the person whose timeline is cutting within, as we call it the in time, for them, they are most likely more absorbed in the present moment. So much so कि पास्ट हो गया तो हो गया, फ्यूचर तो आने वाला है, पता नहीं क्या हो, let it be. What is important is now. So for them, if you ask, okay, like how would the future look like, or what do you intend to do 5 years from now, they might find it very difficult to answer that question. 5 years from now किसने देखा है, अभी की बात करो. So there are pros and cons of both. There are strengths and weaknesses of both. Now become aware of which one is your typical preferred one. And this is happening at the unconscious level. So you will not be aware of which one I prefer. But by these properties which I'm telling you, you might be able to figure out that, okay, what is happening more in my life. Again, what you just did, what you connected the dots right now is telling you how your timeline is positioned right now. It may change from context to context, situation to situation. We are all capable of having both in time as well as through time, but we do have a preference for one over the other. So when it comes to planning, organizing, goal setting, the through time people are better in doing that. Whereas the in time people say कि अभी का अभी देखते जो है बाद में का बाद में, we'll see later. So tell me one thing, based on just this much of understanding of in time and through time, in time and through time and in time, my question to you is that who here out of through time or in time, which type of personality would be better at taking learnings from the past and applying them in the future? Through time or in time? Through time. Because they are not totally in the now, so they are able to disconnect and see the past and the future and see it, okay, fine, ye hua tha pehle. So if I have to now make sure that I don't repeat the past mistakes, what happened in the past, any future situation comes up, their first preference is, oh, pehle kya kiya tha? Acha, ye hua tha. This worked, this did not work, let me apply this. Whereas for in time, it's like raat gayi, baat gayi. It's gone. In time people are more likely to continue making the same mistakes. And you ask them, ye pehle to, didn't you learn from your past mistakes? And they say, no, wo to ho gaya, yaad nahi raha, I did the same thing. And so they often take every situation as a new situation and probably repeat the same mistakes also, repeat the same successes also, that means, not just mistakes, both the ways. But the approach probably remains as if it's from scratch again. The learnings from the past are hardly applied. Okay, tell me one more thing. Between these two, who would be more capable of perceiving risk better? Like if you ask them that, इसमें कुछ risk है क्या? What could be the risk in this? In time. Through time. Because even the future they are seeing outside. They'll consider what are the scenarios, ये होगा तो क्या होगा, वो होगा तो क्या होगा. In time को पूछो, what are the risks involved? They'll say, what risk? In time are more absorbed in the present moment rather than considering future scenarios and making up scenarios and saying that this could happen, that could happen, let me visualize it. So in fact, through time people are better in perceiving risk as well. Which of the two, next question, think and answer. Which of the two will be able to enjoy the present moment better? In time. Because they are in the now. In fact, the in time people may lose track of timers. Through time people might be better in time management. Now, all these I'm saying are all generalizations, okay? Because we are capable of shifting. And other factors also work. But more or less, if we go only by through time and in time, only by this factor, then through time people are better in managing their time because they know कि अच्छा ये खत्म होने के बाद next meeting क्या है, next appointment क्या है, next schedule क्या है. They kind of have their timeline, their calendar in front of them internally. In time people, when they are into one thing, they might even lose track of time कि इसके बाद दूसरा मीटिंग है, दूसरे वाले को भी कहीं जाना होता है, and they'll be so absorbed in the present moment and they'll just probably, go on and enjoy. Now, while it is good in terms of enjoying the present moment, being there, maybe more mindful, maybe more focused, maybe able to do better in meditation also, in time people. The drawback of that is that if there are negative situations or grief, the in time people may find it difficult to come out of that quickly because they are totally in time in that moment. So दोनों के drawbacks भी है, positives भी है. Both are having goods and pros and cons. Become aware. Become aware of this. And the awareness that you got right now about what your timeline is showing right now, let me tell you, that is your awareness of the timeline right now. Some people learn better by being in time, and otherwise they may be through time. So maybe because you're learning, you found that you are in time right now, that is the present is passing through you, within you. Or sometimes you say, no, every time that may happen. So become more observant that what is happening. You may want to do this exercise in multiple situations and see, just ask yourself, where is the present moment? Are you watching life like a movie where the now is outside you? Or are you absorbing and living life internally all the time and experiencing it? That is the difference. Now, there is nothing good or bad. Both have their pros and cons, but there is no good or bad. That doesn't mean that you should be in time only and you should be through time only. The best way to deal with it is apply your behavioral flexibility and know when to switch. I'll give you an example. Let's say if you are playing cricket or the cricketer. Let's say if you are not playing cricket, think about a cricketer. Let's think about Sachin Tendulkar. When he's on the pitch, batting, is he in time or through time? When he's facing the ball, does he need to be in time or through time? In time, right? Because he cannot plan it out. Okay, wo aayega to ye karenge. Because it is like in the moment what is happening. Now tell me, how was Sachin Tendulkar as a captain? How was his performance as a captain? Was it good? Was it bad? No, performance as a captain, very poor, right? Now what is happening probably? As a captain, what is required? It's required to be in time or through time? Through time. Because planning, leading, organizing, all that is needed. Now he was probably not able to shift from in time to through time that flexibly. But now think of Dhoni. How was he on the pitch and how was he as a captain? Both were good. So that just means that subconsciously that shift between in time and through time were better in Dhoni's case. In organizations, you may have noticed this, that people are appreciated for their great performance when they are in operations, when they are execution people, maybe in sales or in operation, whatever, they are doing fantastically well. And then they get promoted to a higher level as managers. And then the bosses start observing, कि promotion होने के बाद इसका performance drop हो गया, सर पे चढ़ गया. He was not able to perform well, and what happened? He was doing so well at a lower level. Now he's not able to do it. And then all the kinds of leadership trainings and everything is deployed to make people better in leadership. All those leadership trainings will work definitely at the conscious level. But probably what is coming in the way at the unconscious level is that they have not yet figured out how to shift from in time to through time. At the lower performance level, at the lower operations level, what is required more is in time. And if the person continues to do that in time, even at a higher level, probably that may be an obstacle. Now, this is very powerful. Very few people actually know that this is a difference that can make the difference. Now, when you figure out, you find out when, in which situations do you need to be in time, which situations you need to be through time, which one will help well, and see how you can make that change. Most of us, or rather some of us, here are naturally flexible and adaptable in doing that. Like you may realize over here that some of you may be thinking, no, but I am in-time person, but I'm good in planning. Maybe. Or someone will say, I am figured out I'm a through-time person, but I can also enjoy in the moment. And that's the thing. The thing is that how can you train yourself or adapt yourself to be flexible in doing whatever is required? If it is naturally happening to you, very good. But if it is not naturally happening to you, if you figure out that your default or preferred timeline is becoming an obstacle in the other way that is required. So let's say you figure out you are through time and you want to enjoy the present moment, or you want to meditate, or you want to do some mindful thing. But your thoughts are running haywire. Ye hoga to kya? Unnecessary anxiety or daydreaming or planning is coming up, or past memories are haunting. Come to the present moment. How to do that? Change your timeline. In the present, in that situation, momentarily you can change your timeline, and I'll tell you how to do that, and then shift it back. Okay, so it is possible to change your timeline, but this process comes with a warning. No matter how much you think that your current way of timeline is not helping you, or you may think, yeah, I should be more in time only and through time, or vice versa. Please realize one thing, that you are what you are thanks to your current configuration of the timeline. Every behavior has a positive intention. So every configuration within us also has a positive intention. It has served us in some way or the other. So don't say that nahi, mujhe wo chahiye hi nahi. Rather than figure out ke kaun se context mein that has been working for you, which context it has been working for you, and let it be there. So for example, if you figure out that you are through time means everything are outside, and you are finding difficulties in meditating or being mindful. For that moment where you want to meditate or be mindful, change your timeline to in time, and then again reverse it. Again switch it to through time. Don't keep it there for long, otherwise your natural configuration which is working for you will get affected. Okay, so I'll tell you how to do it. Just watch, don't do it with me. Okay, big caution. Don't do it with me. I'm showing you how to do it, but don't do it with me. Don't even imagine doing it on yourself right now. You will do it only in those situations where you need it. And then how to reverse also I'll tell you. It's simple process. Let's say you want to shift from through time to in time. Connect the dots of the past, the present, the future. You'll notice everything is outside. So it may not be a straight line, but everything is outside. Okay. Let's say if you could grab hold of that timeline. Don't do it with me. Keep your eyes open. Just watch me. Let's say you could grab the timeline. Let's say the timeline was actually a metallic rod. Okay. It's just bent all over. So you'll just hold that rod from everywhere and straighten it out. Straighten it out in such a way that the entire timeline is in front of you. Where past is on the left, present is in center, and future is on your right. Now hold it, grab it as if it's an iron rod, and take it and now shift it. Take it above you and shift it in such a way that past is behind you and future is in front of you. And present is above you. And as if you are drilling a metal rod or putting a metal rod, cutting it through you. Make some special sound effects also, if that really works. Okay. Cut it within you like this. And position it inside your head. And वहां छोड़ के उसको लॉक कर दो. Lock कर दो. Now you have actually literally played with your timeline, but temporarily. Okay, it's there. Now, keeping it there, you do what you need to do, being mindful, meditate, enjoy with friends, jo karna hai karo. And once you're done with that, what you needed to do in time, again, grab hold of it, remove it out, and put it outside the way it was. So this really works because it is playing with the submodalities of your timeline. Only piece of caution is that don't keep it over there for long, bring it out immediately once you're done with that. Similar process if you want to change from in time to through time. Let's say you are an in time person, too much of absorption in the moment, but you want to plan out, you want to do your goal getting exercise that you did. Then we said identify the actions, lay down the plan, create the milestones. Abhi wo sab karna hai, but in through time personality, you may find it difficult to do it. In case you find it difficult to do it, again, I'm giving the rider over there. If you find it easy to do it, don't do all this. In case you find it difficult to switch, then same way, join the dots. You will notice that somewhere the present is cutting within you. Straighten out the timeline in such a way that past is behind and future is in front. It's already within you, inside you. So pull it out. Twist it, bring it outside. Outside, imagine it's on a hook. वहां पे उसको hook पे टांग दो and attack करके lock it over there in outside position in a way that past is on your left and future is on your right. And then do your work, do your planning, kar do, and then again once you're done, lift it up from that hook again and put it back in you. So that is about understanding in time or through time. Okay. Now this is one aspect of timeline. Knowing that there are two different types of personalities where different types of parameters or properties we operate from depending on what our preferred timeline configuration is. Now another application of timeline that we'll see, whether you are through time or in time, doesn't matter. I want you to now close your eyes and think of the present moment. If from the present moment, look at your future self. So do one thing. You are on the present moment on your timeline right now. Point to that direction of that point where you have the well-formed outcome in the future. When you were doing your goal getting last week, you made your goal specific, measurable, and time bound, right? What was that date by when you are going to achieve that goal? Point to that date on your timeline. Now, from the current present point to that future point, as you notice, imagine if there is a straight line in between. Okay, that straight line is your timeline from the present point to the future point of time when your goal is achieved. From the present, you are looking at that future point where the goal is getting achieved, right? You're able to exactly point to that. Now, what I want you to do is imagine if you can come out of your present self and float over this timeline and go to that future point. You can either float over the timeline or you can walk mentally, imagining that you're walking over the timeline. and reaching that future point. Do that. As you are walking from the present moment to that future moment where the goal is achieved, also notice what all actions you are taking. And imagine yourself taking all the actions, doing whatever it takes, and reaching that future moment where the goal is achieved. And now you're there. You're in that future moment. How does it feel experiencing the goal? The goal has been achieved now. You have done whatever it takes. You have reached there. You are there in the future moment. See what you see, hear what you hear, and feel what you feel as if the goal is already achieved because now you have done that. You have walked over the timeline. Now you are in the future. Okay. From that future moment, I want you to turn back and look at the present moment. Notice that in that present moment, you that is already standing there.